We spent 1 week exploring Acadia National Park with our golden retriever Koda, trying to see if this is actually the perfect New England road trip with a dog. From hidden coastal trails to dog-friendly restaurants to one of the most beautiful sunsets we've ever seen, and honestly, this trip did not go how we expected. We drove up to Maine in peak summer with a rough itinerary, a camera, and way too many treats for Koda. And somewhere between the fog, the crowds, and one trail we almost skipped entirely, this became one of our favorite trips we've ever taken. We're breaking this video into 5 parts so you can follow along like an itinerary. Where we stayed, ate, shopped, explored, and where we adventured. First up, where we stayed. We decided to stay just outside Bar Harbor so we could be close to Acadia without being stuck in the middle of tourist chaos. We stayed at Mount Desert Campground, and pulling in after a long drive surrounded by trees, right on the water, it immediately set the tone for the whole week. One thing worth knowing if you're planning this trip, not every campground around Acadia is dog friendly, and the ones that are, book out fast in the summer. We'd recommend booking at least 2 to 3 months out. Next, where we ate. And yes, we specifically looked for spots where Koda could actually come with us. The highlight for us was the Traveling Lobster. We got the lobster rolls and ate outside with Koda right next to us. A few other spots worth knowing, Downeast Deli and Boxed Lunch Co. are perfect for grabbing breakfast sandwiches or deli sandwiches before a long day out. Part 3, where we shopped. And look, we're not big shoppers, but Bar Harbor actually surprised us here. The main street has a mix of your typical tourist spots and some genuinely cool local stores. We brought Koda into Cool as a Moose in the Acadia Shop, but the one we never skip is her absolute favorite, Bar Harbor. It's exactly what it sounds like, a shop made entirely for dogs. We try to go here early in the trip so Koda can actually enjoy the toys and treats she picked out for the rest of the week. Honestly, she takes the shopping more seriously than we do. If you're traveling with the dog, put this one on the list first. Part 4, where we explored. We started with Jesup Path, a level 1 dog-friendly trail that was perfect for easing into the trip without doing anything too strenuous. Jordan Pond is another must. The views of the bubbles, these 2 perfectly round hills on either side of the water, are unreal. And it's one of the only spots in the park where dogs can actually get near the water, which Koda was very into. We also took Koda paddleboarding and swimming at Lake Wood, and honestly, this might have been her favorite day of the entire trip. We throw a toy in the water and she launched herself at the board, chasing it every single time. If you have a water dog, do not skip this. Stonington Beach was the other one, and if you've never heard of it, people call it the Lake Tahoe of New England because of how blue and clear the water is. Being from New England ourselves, we thought that was a bold claim, but it wasn't. The water is genuinely unreal. We also made it out to Bar Harbor Lighthouse for sunset, and it's a stunning spot, generally one of the most photographed places in all of Maine. But peak summer means it is packed. We're talking shoulder to shoulder. If you want that postcard sunset without finding a crowd, we saved the best spot for the next section. And finally, where we adventured, the real hikes. We started with Beach Mountain Trailhead, a great warm-up hike with rewarding views at the top and honestly one of the more manageable trails in the park for dogs. A solid way to ease into the bigger stuff. Our next big one was Raven's Nest. Getting there felt like one of those places that doesn't look real in person. You're standing on this rocky ledge, looking out over the ocean, and the views are just insane. Probably our favorite view of the entire week. Koda did great on it, but worth noting, some of the more technical trails in Acadia have iron rungs and ladder sections that are tough or impossible with a dog. We'd always recommend checking trail conditions for your specific dog before you commit to a hike. Another spot we highly recommend is Shudik Point. It's a little further out, so most tourists skip it entirely, which means you basically have the massive pink granite slabs and crashing waves almost to yourself. And for the hike, we almost skipped entirely in the sunset spot we teased in the last section, North Bubble Trail. We were tired, the weather had already turned twice that day, and we generally almost just went back to the campsite. But we pushed through, and it ended up being the most rewarding hike of the trip. The views from the top looking down over Eagle Lake are something we're still thinking about. Acadia somehow managed to feel both completely relaxing and genuinely adventurous at the same time. This ended up being one of the best road trips we've ever taken, and doing it with Koda made it that much better. If you're planning a trip to Acadia with a dog, hopefully this gives you a real starting point. And honestly, we're already trying to figure out where to bring Koda next. If you have any suggestions, let us know down in the comments, and always make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to never miss one of our videos.